Good morning. Hello. Welcome to Polly's podcast. I'm Polly, and today is day 203 of being on a carnivore paleo lifestyle diet where I've eliminated as many things as possible from my diet, and I eat mostly meat, poultry, eggs, and animal products. Okay, so what's on the menu for today is pork stew. I chopped up the pork, I sauteed it in the Instant Pot saute setting, and then I added some beef broth to it, and I am making a stew from that. Another thing that I'm making today are hamburger patties, and I'm making quite a few of them. And another thing I'm making today are egg whites with mushrooms. So I really don't like the egg whites, but in order to balance the macros fat to protein ratio, I cannot have the beef I mean the beef fat and beef stock and the pork fat and the pork and the egg yolks today. So I don't really calculate anything. I don't calculate, I don't count the calories or things like that. But I do keep it in the back of my mind that it's important to at least be conscious of these fats and proteins that are going into my meal. Today is an OMAD day, which means I'm having one meal today. Only one meal. OMAD, one meal. Because I want to drive the fat through the floor. I want it to burn. I want to remain fat adapted to where my body is burning fat for fuel and not, glucose or anything else. So I want it to burn fat. So I'm not taking in any glucose today. Of course, some of the proteins that I take in, my body may decide to convert to glucose as it sees fit, right? So I am aware of the mechanisms that are applied here. So it's not it's very complicated. It's not simple at all. Okay. Because if I was to eat a tremendous amount of protein and fat, right, like ungodly amounts, let's say 3 or 4 pounds throughout the day, and then my body may say, hey, look, there's a lot of food coming in right now. Let's store some of this for energy for a later date when there's not enough food, right? So I am aware of that. And I do have days where I am lean. I eat lean. And then I have days where I am eating fats and mostly, of course, animal fats. Okay. So what else do I have on here? I'm just checking in today, day 203. Yay. Very exciting. I don't know what journey you're on, but if you want to let me know what journey you're on, please do. And share with me what you're having today that's low carb, high protein, moderate fat, or even high fat, high protein. Because, we're here to help each other. I did take 5 grams of creatine this morning. Creatine comes in all different forms, and it does help to put moisture into the muscle. And so I do have 2 different kinds here at the house that I do utilize. One is a powdered form that I'll add to my coffee. Another one is the chewables. I'm not going to promote products because I'm not sponsored. And I'm not going to just, willy-nilly just promote products because that's just not what I'm going to do here right now. But there are 2 specific products that I do use, and one is a chewable. It's extremely sweet in my opinion. So I'm not really pleased with the chewable that's too sweet. But what are you going to do? Sometimes I don't want the powdered creatine in my coffee because even though it's unflavored, it does not dilute very well. If you've ever used creatine, you know what I'm talking about because I think one of the biggest complaints is that it doesn't, dissolve in liquids very well, even warm liquids. And it kind of does change the texture or the taste of the coffee a hint. Oh, we have somebody online here. Let's see what's going on there. Hello, Kung Fu Cat. Oh, thank you. You're very, very sweet. Wait, I noticed that yesterday you mentioned that you had lost 50 pounds doing carnivore. So congratulations, Kung Fu Cat. And thank you for joining me here this morning. That's so nice of you. I appreciate your time. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Creatine, yuck. That's funny because it is yuck. Okay. So let's see here. I did download some pictures that I said I was going to from my from the cell phone to the email, from the email to the computer. So I'm working on making some before and afters. And it's not an exciting thing. I don't really want to do that, but I will if it helps you, if you want me to. Let's see. And I have to also figure out how to do it because I don't really know how, but that's okay. I have a brain. I'll figure it out. I have more than 3 functioning brain cells. I think I can figure it out. So 203 days. How do I feel? I feel fantastic. I have a lot of energy, more energy than I've had before when I was obese and overweight. Let's see. I do cook more at home. Rarely do I go out to eat because I do want to avoid the seed oils, and I also want to avoid triggers. Something that very few things, we don't talk about triggers enough. So, for me, going out and looking at a menu is a trigger. But luckily, there are some wonderful restaurants. One that I recently found, and it's meat by the pound. Delicious. So I ended up having the burnt pork belly ends, and they were just phenomenal. So tasty. 1 whole pound. I was very satisfied until the next day. So that day, the OMAD worked great. Let me see what's being said here on the Chit Chat. When you go out, just order meat. You are correct. So, meat and or eggs. That's my go-to, just like Kung Fu Kitty Cat just said. Sorry about that. Big, easy, super easy. Almost every single restaurant has, eggs, some kind of meat. There's another restaurant I go to, and they have like a smoker, and these are Texas-style restaurants, and so they have smokers and they have a lot of meat. So for me, it's easier now, so I don't have those triggers. But when I sit at a table with a bunch of people that are ordering like baked potato, twice stuffed baked potato, pasta, I should say that I'm not, my food noise is not as loud as it used to be. So I'm really glad about that. And I don't know if that's because my glycogen stores are being depleted. I don't know what that is in the biological mechanisms, but it could be. I'm guessing that it could be for me that the glycogen stores are being depleted, and therefore and also my hunger. Because look, ever since I cut out the carbs and the seed oils and most of the fruit and all the vegetables, I don't experience hunger the way that I used to. So my hunger hormone does not activate in the same manner that it used to. It took a while for my body to get used to that, but I'm satiated much longer. And when I do get hungry, I am not running to get something to eat. I can sip on some cold, unsweetened tea. I can sip on some cold, unsweetened coffee, and I'm fine. even salt water will help me a lot. Well, another comment here. What? I eat with friends at a restaurant, I hear them getting, oh my gosh, I cannot say that. Mm, mm, let's be nice. So let's be nice because we have to support one another. All right. We have to give each other the support that we need and that we deserve to get through every single minute of every single day. It's tough. It's an uphill battle. It's a fight. It's not easy. No matter what anybody says, if they say, oh, it was easy, I just eat a lot of meat. It's nothing. It's just, no, it's not easy. If you have been a carboholic like me or a sugarholic like me, then you know it's tough as nails to even look at things. I look at bread and I gain weight. I even walk into a donut shop, forget it. I mean, my blood glucose goes through the roof. I don't even have to eat it. My eyes look at it, and as soon as my eyes look at it, or if my nose smells it, my pancreas says, "Oh, she's gonna do it. She's gonna put it in her mouth," and starts releasing insulin right away to balance those blood sugars because it's ready to go. So it's awful. It's a fight. It is such a huge uphill battle. Oh, it's terrible. But the meat is delicious. I'm going to say it's delicious. Okay. And what do we have? There are two. Okay. So Kung Fu, why don't you share with us how much fat you've burned and whether or not you've lost any muscle, or if you have lost visceral fat, or if you feel like if you've lost bone density. What are some of the pros or some of the cons that you've experienced, and how long have you been strict carnivore or paleo? Because, these comments might help somebody else. I mean, I don't know if somebody's sitting there watching or listening, or when this gets replayed. I don't know when it gets replayed or if it even does. But if it does, maybe somebody will read it and say, hey, I'm in that boat. So, let's help each other out. And it's sad. It's really very heartbreaking when you look at pictures. I look at pictures of myself, and it's like night and day. Why didn't I do this sooner? The days passed, whether I wanted them or not. I wanted to tell a story. And so this is the story I wanted it to tell. I have not tested my triglycerides yet, but I am pretty sure that they dropped dramatically. So I'm just saying that because I have less body fat than I did. So obviously something's happening with the triglycerides also because they are a part of fat, right? I mean, it's just common sense. So, all right, stay strong. Happy to support. I'm not that strong. You're not that strong. Sure you are. How much have you lost? So again, today for the menu, I'm keeping record is just I'm making a pork stew, and that's basically all pork with fat drippings, and I am making hamburger patties with them cheddar cheese, as well as fried egg whites in pork lard, bacon grease, with sauteed mushrooms in the egg whites. So that's a huge meal for the OMAD day today. I already had my morning coffee. I have a little bit left. And I did take my collagen peptides. I take 20 grams every day. And I did take my 5 grams of creatine. So I am ready for today. I've got my farm hat ready to go outside and get started on my day. So look, until next time, be happy, be healthy, And thank you for joining me on Polly's podcast. Bye for now.